Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. This video is going to be all of my Disney films, so the live action films. I've got I think a few of the classic animated films, and my Pixar collection as well will all be in this. I'll go through it as quick as I can, so let's get started. So first up is a 2-film collection. I believe I've seen the sequel for this, but it was when it first came out and I cannot remember anything about it, and I've never seen the first one. And this is the double pack of TRON and TRON Legacy. Obviously the original stars Jeff Bridges, who I believe reprises his role in the second one, but I don't know if he's got as big of a role in the second one because I cannot remember. But from what I hear, Legacy isn't as good. It's quite a step down from the first one, and we are supposed to be getting a third one, I believe, with Jared Leto, so I look forward to that. But yeah, as I said, I have seen the second one, Legacy, but not for a long time, so I can't really give my thoughts on that. But they are 2 films that I probably will watch in the near future. So that is the Tron 2 movie collection. Next up is one of my favourite live action Disney films. It's not a live action remake, it is a true story, and it is just a great live action Disney film, and I wish they did more films like this instead of doing all these remakes. It stars Emma Thompson and Tom Hanks, and that is Saving Mr. Banks. Obviously follows P.L. Travers and Walt Disney, and when Walt Disney wants to make P.L. Travers' book, Mary Poppins, into a film, and it's about their creative differences and the visions, and it's a really well done film. Great cast, directed by John Lee Hancock, who did The Blind Side, which is a fantastic film. I think Tom Hanks was perfectly cast, as was Emma Thompson, and yeah, I just really love this film, and I would recommend everyone that hasn't seen this film to check it out because it's a fantastic film. That is Saving Mr. Banks. Next up is one that I'm not too sure if I've seen or not. I got this recently. I probably have seen it, but again, this came out like 11 years ago, so if I have seen it, I wouldn't remember anything about it, and I've heard it's not a particularly good film anyway. It's Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. Obviously starring Jake Gyllenhaal, which was the main reason I bought this, and Gemma Arterton, Ben Kingsley, Alfred Molina. So yeah, this I might like this. I mean, it may be a fun film. I don't know. It looks like a fun film to me, and I like Jake Gyllenhaal, as you all know. So yeah, I'll give this a go soon to see what I think of it. That is Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. And then next up, we got big box set, 5-movie collection of the Pirates of the Caribbean films. Apologies. Um, Obviously, this includes all 5 films: The Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, At World's End, On Stranger's Tides. Is it On Stranger's Tides? On Stranger Tides, and Salazar's Revenge. Personally, if I were to rank them, I would probably go At World's End, The Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, Salazar's Revenge, On Stranger Tides. That's my personal ranking. Obviously, it's not the right ranking, but that's just how I feel. Very strange how they've done this. So you've got the first 2 films here together. Then you've got 3 and 4 together, and then you've got Salazar's Revenge. I would have thought that they would have put the first 3 films together as they're like a trilogy and they're all interlinked, and then On Stranger Tides and Salazar's Revenge together, but I guess this came out just after Salazar's Revenge, so they just put this one. It's easy to just get this one and put it in separately, I guess. But anyway, I really like these films. So yeah, let me know what you think of the Pirates of the Caribbean films down below, if you've seen them, that is, obviously. And then I've got these back to front, so I'm gonna switch them. National Treasure, one of Nicolas Cage's great films. I love these films, both of them. Obviously, I'll show you the second one as well, Book of Secrets. I actually think I prefer the second one. I've not seen it for a long time. I am going to watch this soon. I watched this not that long ago. I am going to rewatch this soon. But from what I remember, I like this one more. You've got Helen Mirren in this as well, and Ed Harris, and they're two great actors. Um, but they're both fantastic films. Um, Reminiscent of Indiana Jones type films because it's treasure hunting, and I love those sorts of films. Love Same why I like the Pirates of the Caribbean films. It's an escape really, and especially nowadays we need those sorts of films. So yep, those are both of the National Treasure films. Next up, we have a film from last year which is very divided. I personally really enjoyed this. At the time that I'd watched it, it was my favourite film of the year. I don't think it would be now, because after that I did watch. This came out September last year, and there were a lot of films that I liked more towards the end of the year. But this is the live action version of Mulan. I liked that it wasn't like the original. It was different. It wasn't a musical. Yes, they took some characters out, but I think that was necessary for this film. This is a more serious film, for a more mature film, and I just like the way they went with it, and I like the casting in the film. Obviously, Donnie Yen, Jason Scott Lee, Jet Li, some great actors there. Yeah, but I know a lot of people are very divided on this. Some people really don't like this, and some people really like this, like I do. So, yeah, that is the live action version of Mulan. And then next up, we have Mary Poppins, one of my favourite classic Disney films. Obviously, I talked about Saving Mr. Banks. Probably the reason why I like Saving Mr. Banks so much is because I love this film, and obviously, you can't have that film without this film first, because it's all about the making of this film and how they made this film. It's just a magical film. Julie Andrews, Dick Van Dyke are excellent. I couldn't see anyone else in the role personally, even though Dick Van Dyke's Cockney accent is terrible. Uh, I've not actually seen it for a long time, so I do definitely need to get on that and watch it again soon, because as I say, it is one of my favourite classic Disney films. This is specifically the 50th anniversary edition. Um, but yeah, if you've not seen Mary Poppins, you've got to get on it. I'm sure it's on Disney Plus. If you've got Disney Plus, watch it. Sequel, I've not got yet. I will get. It's still a great film. Obviously, nowhere near as good as this, but it's still a great film. But it would never have been on the same level as this film, because this is a classic, not just a classic Disney film, but a classic film in general. That is Mary Poppins. And next up, we have a film which I'm not a big fan of. To be honest, very unpopular opinion. I don't really like the original animated film, and when you see what film I'm talking about, you'll be quite surprised. It's the only animated Disney film that I can't sit all the way through. Don't know why. I've tried so many times over the last few years, and it's just not for me. I like this a bit more. I went to the cinema to see this. I am likely to watch this again. I know a lot of people would definitely choose the animated film over this. Um, and this was okay. But I got this like £3, so I thought, yeah, I'll get this because I may watch it again. And that is the live action remake of The Lion King. Yes, I know I don't like The Lion King. That is probably a big unpopular opinion of mine. I just don't like it. As I say, I couldn't get into it, couldn't watch it all the way through. But I know loads of people on this, their favourite um, classic Disney animated film. So everyone's different at the end of the day. But this was okay from what I remember. Wasn't It's not really a live action remake, it's more a CGI remake because there is no live action in it, but you know, it's still good, it's still alright. I'd probably, if I remember, I think I gave it 3 stars out of 5, so middle of the road, but I will watch it again, may go up or down on a rewatch. That's The Lion King. Next up is one that I didn't really like, but I believe I got this in Poundland. I think this may have actually been my very first Blu-ray. Could have been. It's a Disney film that not a lot of people talk about. Got a great cast, but when I watched it, as I say, I didn't really remember liking it a whole great deal. So yeah, but that is Into the Woods, directed by Rob Marshall, who is a great director. Obviously, he's done Chicago. Um, he did Mary Poppins Returns, and he's also doing The Little Mermaid. So he's done a lot of Disney films. Um, so yeah, I'll watch this again. It's got Meryl Streep. She's my favourite actress. Probably the main reason I've kept it. Um, maybe better on a rewatch. I don't know. Let me know what you think of this. Are your thoughts the same as mine? Is it just an okay film? What do you think? Let me know. Into the woods. Next up, we have a childhood favourite of mine. In fact, a few of these. I think there's another one coming. There's loads of these. Most of these are childhood favourites, which is why I've got them. This one specifically, I remember watching a lot when I was younger. I was the right age when this came out, and just remember rewatching a lot. And I'm so happy that the sequel is actually happening. It is. I think it's even finished filming now. Um, but that is Enchanted. Amy Adams, James Marsden, Patrick Dempsey, Susan Sarandon. Great film, as I say, from my childhood that I loved. Obviously about Giselle, who's a princess from Andalusia. I thought that's what it was called. It does say here. And she gets banished into Manhattan, modern day Manhattan, and it's like a fish out of water film. A bit like Elf, which is why Elf's my favourite Christmas film. She doesn't have a clue what she's doing, where she is. And it's also a musical, which is even better. So, yeah, I love this film. I think it's great, as I said. Probably like it even more so because I grew up with it. But yeah, definitely had to have that in my collection. That is Enchanted. Next up is one that I didn't watch a lot when I was younger. Again, it came out I think a year after Enchanted, but I don't remember watching it a lot. I remember watching it a few times and liking it, so I thought I think it was a pound in CEX, so I got it and I will probably watch it again because I still remember liking it, even though it wasn't as good as Enchanted to me. That is Beverly Hills Chihuahua, obviously with the voices of Drew Barrymore, George Lopez, Andy Garcia. I believe Jamie Lee Curtis is actually in this, not voice, she's actually in it, yeah. So, yeah, I remember liking this, thinking it was pretty good, so I'll give it a watch again in the future. Another one of my absolute favourite Disney films growing up, with Adam Sandler, um, Bedtime Stories. Love this film. Just think it's great. Directed by Adam Shankman, who is he's not a big director and he doesn't do big films, but the films he does, I love. I mean, he did A Walk to Remember, which I loved. The remake of Hairspray, I loved. Um, just so many films. I believe he's doing. I think he's the one that's doing Enchanted 2, Disenchanted. I think because he was originally supposed to do Hocus Pocus 2, but he stepped out to do Enchanted 2. I think, but he's just. I think personally he's a really good director. I like a lot of his films. So, but that's just my opinion. But this is great Disney film. I definitely recommend watching this. It's got great cast. Obviously Adam Sandler, Kerry Russell, Guy Pearce, Russell Brand, Richard Griffiths, Jonathan Pryce, Courtney Cox, loads of people. But yeah, if you like your Disney films, definitely recommend this because this is a good one. Bedtime Stories. Another classic Disney film that I love, I rewatched for the first time in a long time last year. Knobs and Broomsticks, Angela Lansbury and David. What's his name? David Tomlinson. I knew it was David something because he was in Mary Poppins as well. Um, really love this film. Again, magical Disney film. In fact, this is actually 50 years old this year, so it's a very old film. But it holds up. I still love it and love it on a rewatch. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking this out if you haven't. Again, as with all of these, they're more than likely all on Disney Plus. So if you are interested and you have Disney Plus, check them out because I only have films in my collection that I know I'm going to rewatch again and again. So, but that's just me. I mean, some of these films you may hate, so who knows? There may be some films in your collections that I don't like, but you have fun with. So everyone has a different opinion on different films. So anyway, but that's Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. Now on to my Disney animated films. My absolute favourite Disney animated film, which I could watch every day and not get bored of, is Tarzan. Just absolutely love this film. I don't know how many times. I think the DVD probably got so scratched because I just watched it so much as a kid. Must have watched it sometimes even twice a day. That it just went. So I was very happy to get this on Blu-ray. And I've watched it again since, and I can't get over how much I love this film. it's definitely my favourite. And it's actually directed by the same director of Enchanted, which is strange if only just noticed. But yeah, if you've not seen Tarzan, definitely watch Tarzan. That's at the top of all of these films, personally, because I just love it. And then one that I got in a charity shop, which I've not got a big attachment to. I've probably seen it once. Got it for Christmas. Well, I didn't get it for Christmas. I got it to watch this Christmas, I should say. Um, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, I'll watch it. As I said, I think I got it for 150, so I thought, why not? Um, what's the worst that can happen? I don't like it. Give it to someone that does want it. But yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas. Another one of my absolute favourite Disney animated classics is Beauty and the Beast. Another one that I just love. I need to get Aladdin because those three are my absolute favourites that I used to watch on repeat over and over and over again when I was younger. Um, just a classic, great film this is. And it was the first animated film in the history of the Oscars to be nominated for Best Picture in 1991. So, broke history this film. So, great film. Now onto my Pixar collection. Not got loads. I'm going backwards. They're all in chronological. So there's a big gap you'll see because I did this year get them from the start, trying to get them from the start. So there is a big gap. But I apologise for that. I will start getting some more hopefully later this year. Toy Story 4. Didn't think it would be any good because Toy Story 3 was so good. But this was just as good. Thought this was great. Great send off for the characters. We definitely won't have another one now. I hope they don't say, oh, we're going to do Toy Story 5. We are getting the Buzz Lightyear film, but that's not to do with this character. That's to do with the character that he is based off. Bit confusing, but yeah. But yeah, absolutely love this film. Um, I think they're all great films. So Pixar do only really do great films, to be honest. But yeah, that's Toy Story 4. And then we have one I went to the cinema to see a long time ago. As I said, a big gap, but this is Up. Love this film. Just think it's a great film. Same director of Monsters Inc., which is my favourite Pixar film, I think. I love the new series, Monsters at Work. Every Wednesday morning, I'm on there straight away watching the new episode, just because obviously it picks up straight after Monsters Inc., but we'll get onto that in a bit because I'll show you that in a bit. But yeah, really like this. Think it's just a really good film. Great characters, great story. Obviously, you've got Christopher Plummer, I believe, is one of the voice. I think he's the voice of the villain in this. But yeah, that is Up, and obviously it's got one of the saddest openings of a film in film history, in my opinion. One that I wasn't too big on. I made the mistake. I got this in, I believe, not a charity shop. I got this in CEX, about £3, and then a few weeks later I found it in my local charity shop. They just bought a massive box in, and that was in there, so I could have technically got it for 20p, but oh well, I've got it anyway. That's Wally. Yeah, I think it's okay. Um, Not one of the best, but that said, I've only seen it the once a long time ago, so I will need to watch it again. Might really love it this time round. Who knows? But yeah, that is Wally. And then another gap, and we have Finding Nemo. Another one of my favourite Pixar films. The earlier ones are great. Um, Absolutely love this film. Obviously, you've got Marlin, Dory, Nemo, all of the great characters. Um, and it's just a classic film. Sequel was good. Not got that yet, but still the sequel was good. Um, so yeah, that's Finding Nemo anyway. And then, as I mentioned, my favourite Pixar film, Monsters Inc. As I was saying, Monsters at Work, I absolutely love. I think there's about 10 episodes there's going to be. So yeah, I think the only character that they didn't continue over, and it's not really, I can't remember. I think, what's his name? Character that Steve Buscemi voices, Randall. That's it. Um, I can't remember what happened to him at the end of Monsters Inc. I don't know whether he went away or something. I can't remember. I think he must have, but he's not on this. And obviously, Mr. Waternoose isn't in this. Obviously, not only because his character kind of went off at the end because he was arrested, but also because James Coburn is no longer with us. So, but yeah, absolutely love this film. Classic. And then the final two, which I guess I'll show together, are Toy Story and Toy Story 2. Great films. Absolutely love these films. These obviously started off Pixar. You had A Bug's Life in the middle, which I've not got yet. But these two are fantastic films. This one I probably watched the most when I was younger out of the both of them. I don't know why I like this one a bit more. But yeah, both great films. And I love both of them just as much, really. And that is it. That is my entire Disney collection, including my Pixar films. I hope you enjoyed it. Do you have any of the ones that I have? Are there any that you can suggest that I should get next? Anything? Let me know. If you did like the video, make sure to give it a like. But if for some reason you didn't like the video, then by all means give it a dislike. But if you do choose to dislike it, I'd appreciate it if you let me know why down in the comment section below. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and turn the notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded onto the channel. Comment down below anything, everything. I'll get back to anyone that takes the time to leave me a comment. And that is it. So until next time, take care everyone. Goodbye.